Okay. Hey, good morning. I'm Petri Sutala from Testhouse Nordic. I'm happy to be presenting a groundbreaking new product from Keysight, the InfiniVision HD3 series oscilloscope. Let's have a first quick word about Testhouse Nordic. Testhouse Nordic has been selling test and measurement products since 2005. We have offices in Finland and in Sweden, and we also work with our customers in Estonia, Denmark and Norway. In 2021, German Datatec, a leading test and measurement specialist that has been operational since 1987, acquired Testhouse Nordic, and Datatec are currently expanding into other countries in Europe. Testhouse Nordic represents sales of a wide selection of different test and measurement solutions, from DC to 3 terahertz, early R&D stages to product compliance, conformance testing solutions. And you may recognize some of the brands shown here. Please feel free to come and see me after the presentation. I have a HD3 oscilloscope shown here, so we can discuss your testing needs in more detail. Now, today, I'm focusing on Keysight and their new product introduction. So the new Keysight HD3 series was released 4th of September this year. I'll take a quick jump back into 2018 when Keysight introduced the highest performing oscilloscope, which is the highest one in the world, up to 110 gigahertz real-time bandwidth. And that one has a 10-bit AD converter, amazingly low noise front end, and many hardware accelerated measurements. And now Keysight has started down deploying the same technology first introduced in the UXR to a few years ago mid-range MXR and EXR series oscilloscopes from 500 meg to 6 gig. They are using some of the same technology, and now they are deploying it into the new InfiniVision HD3 series. Same technology, but completely new hardware for the InfiniVision family. Here's a quick recap of the InfiniVision family as it has been before September 4th. So starting from 50 megahertz oscilloscopes all the way up to 1 gig, all based on the same Megazoom 4 ASIC that designed for this purpose. And now the HD3 series is coming to replace the 3000X series and partially also the 4000X series. So this one has a bandwidth from 200 meg to 1 gig. I'll be explaining some more details about this shortly. So this is a overview of the InfiniVision HD3 series family. It comes with 2 or 4 analog channels, and on the back side of the instrument there's a connector for the 16 digital channels. Every model has that active. Basic bandwidth is 200 megahertz, and it's license key upgradable to 350, 500 megahertz, and up to 1 gig. Now, one of the biggest things with this one is that this is the first oscilloscope in the world to have a 14-bit AD converter. There's a high resolution mode up to 16 bits. on these ones, and then from the UXR, all the way from the UXR family, they are down deploying the low noise front end on these. So they have amazing 50 microvolt RMS noise floor on this, where the closest competitor is around 116 microvolts, so over double that amount. And then there's deep memory with a maximum 100 megapoints per channel, with the sample rate of 3.2 gigasamples per channel, and it's for all the channels all the time. There's no interleaving. The other companies, when you switch on more than 2 channels, the sample rate is halved, and also the channel memory, but not with these ones. And it keeps on the amazing 1.3 million waveforms per second display update rate all the time. There's a custom designed ASIC in this product. All the components are designed, all the major components are designed by Keysight for specifically these purposes. So it keeps on going even if you ask it to do other things, turn on digital channels, use FFT, perform a lot of measurements. The display update rate doesn't degrade. So we can, with this product family, you can really analyze with high accuracy your signal. You will be discussing high resolution ADC and effective number of bits. What does that mean? And also showing some proof of the low noise front end, which I can all do also here with the demo instrument I have with me. So analyzing with high accuracy. On the left hand side you see an 8-bit AD converter, the resolution it's capable of providing, and this is the also what the Keysight previous very popular InfiniVision family was able to do before this release. So you had 256 quantization levels. Now some other companies have 12-bit AD converters. Now Keysight is offering 14-bit. So how you look at it, it's even 4 times more than the than what the closest competitors are doing in quantization levels. And if we compare to the Keysight previous generation 8-bit AD converters, well, someone can do the quick math. Is it 10, 20, 40 times? I would need to check myself. Then we have some examples what the low noise floor means. So same settings for all of these oscilloscopes. This is representing, if I remember correctly, 200 megahertz bandwidth at the moment. So on the right hand side you see the 31.5 microvolts RMS noise floor, and in the middle there's some other companies 12-bit AD converter, but they have a bit of an issue with the noise floor on it. And then the Keysight previous generation 3000X with the 8-bit AD converter. That one had 277 microvolt RMS noise floor. So this is a fair comparison of all of these different products. Effective number of bits. Many of you are probably familiar with that term. So when this instrument has a 14-bit AD converter, this is the ideal performance of the instrument, but that is obviously not the case for the whole measurement chain. So there are different things interfering with it. Every amplifier, any component really has noise contribution to the signal path. But Keysight are specifying the effective number of bits for all the different bandwidths, all the different settings. So in the datasheet you will find a table expressing all these. So they go up to 10.4 effective number of bits on this one. Closest competitor is at 8.9 bits. The previous generation Keysight products were at 6.9 bits. And then there are some companies who are choosing not to specify it for perhaps obvious reasons. Another image of what does it look like when you have a high noise floor and 8 bits of resolution. So Keysight comparing against their own previous generation product. When you really don't see the low levels of the signal, they are drowned in noise, then it's very hard to take any decisions of this, make any accurate measurements for when the situation is like this. Another one is showing some measurement results also. So again, exactly same signal, same settings, but top left here you are seeing 407 millivolts, where in fact according to the HD3 family the actual signal peak-to-peak level is 222 millivolts. So the noise is riding on all of your signals, contributing to measurement results, distorting them. I mentioned earlier that Keysight has designed the components themselves. They are optimized for oscilloscope measurements. Some other companies might be using off-the-shelf AD converters, but Keysight are doing all of these themselves, and they are designing them really for the purpose. So you'll see some examples of what does it do when they are optimized for scope measurements, how the deep memory architecture is helpful, and we'll discuss some automated software also, which is part of the custom-made ASIC that they have for this product family. So comparing against another company are the images on the right. You'll see same signal, basically same settings. However, when Keysight oscilloscope is, the whole measurement chain is designed for this purpose. Same horizontal division settings. Keysight are able to sample the signal with 800 megasamples per second and use a very deep memory. When competitors are failing to do so, the sample rate degrades and also the amount of memory. So these measurements have been made from exactly the same signal, same kind of probing, same settings to try to make it fair for everybody. So when added to that the uncompromised waveform update rate with Keysight, this product family, you really can visualize the signal you have in high resolution, which is then enabling you to take good decisions what to do next. And also the the custom-made ASIC, it provides a lot of the measurements. They are done on hardware, not on software as post-processing. So mask testing, zone triggering, serial decodings, all these, they are done in hardware, which also contributes to the oscilloscope not slowing down even if you switch on a lot of other functions. And we do welcome competitive side-by-side comparisons to see it for real. I'm a sales guy, don't trust me. We'll prove it to you. Another functionality that Keysight has had for about 10 years now, or I think even longer, is excuse me, segmented memory feature. What it means is that you can sample your signal to be measured according to the triggering criteria. You can take samples into the channel memory and further advance it. So if we were to use a pulse signal as an example, then you have the pulse, then you have nothing, then you have a next pulse. So you'd be using the channel memory also to the non-interesting parts in between. So pretty much every oscilloscope manufacturer, I guess, is offering this technology that Keysight pioneered today, but they still don't seem to have same grip on it. So Keysight are the only one offering a list view also on the different segments, making it easy for you to take decisions, analyze it. So the first sample, you have a you have a timestamp on it, and then you have on the right hand side you'll see the exact timestamps when the next sample was taken into memory. You can be scrolling through that memory, making searches to it. Advanced analysis, it would assist you seeing, for example, how repeatable some glitch signal, something unexpected in your signal would be, and then further go deeper analyzing that, where is this coming from, what is the cause of this. So only Keysight has the timetable, time correlated list available, making it much more helpful to analyze these. Another example of down deploying features from the higher end, from the Infinium family, which were the higher frequency, higher performing oscilloscopes, is Fault Hunter. This is what they call this feature. It's effectively just a piece of software, but yes, it helps to do some general debugging. You can leave your oscilloscope monitoring for minutes, days, quite long times. So it's looking at your signal when you start this feature. It's looking at your signal and suggesting some approval limits for it, that what is normal, what is not, what would be a fail situation. So on top right there's an example that there's a glitch, a positive glitch on your signal. It's able to capture that. You can make a triggering parameter out of it, but it's doing 6 different tests, and so helping to see where possibly you might have issues with your signal, and make a triggering parameter out of it. So this has been very popular in the Infinium oscilloscope family. A lot of customers like this type of features, because it helps, it automates the basic measurement tasks instead of you having to try to draw masks or this type of things, try to capture some interim problems with the signals. The user interface, again, something that is coming from the higher end oscilloscopes. Now, instead of having as normal would be in this product class, all the signals are just on one screen on top of each other. If you add logic channels to it, it's gonna be crowded no matter how big the display is. So you can split the display into grids. You can utilize the full vertical resolution for different channels. You can have different settings for every channel, and you can also be creating customized displays, so it's not just 4 channels put on top of each other, but you can put couple of signals into one window and or into a grid, and 1 or 2 signals into another one. FFT will also appear in its own grid. There's different bandwidth limitation options, again something that has not been available in the previous generation. Now you can more easily, for example, in certain cases you can limit the amount of bandwidth to be used, because the high bandwidth always contributes to the noise level, so you can get even better resolution. If you are looking at some measuring a 25 megahertz clock, well, maybe you don't at all times need to use the full bandwidth up to 1 gigahertz. So it's helpful. Also, there's a measurement thresholds that you can customize highly. So, and this is now only the start. We are seeing that there's much more features to come to these products. Finally, a overview of this product family, and there's many things coming as standard. So remember, it's 2 or 4 channels. That is the first decision you need to take. But then the 16 logic channels are available at every oscilloscope. You can start from 200 megahertz bandwidth, go up to 1 gig. There's all license key upgrades, 36-month calibration interval, and the manufacturer recommends that within the calibration interval you can add the bandwidth license. You don't need to do anything outside of it. So after the first 3 years, for example, they suggest that you should have the instrument calibrated to make sure that everything is okay, but it's not mandatory, it's not limited if you're not interested. Then standard features include the frequency response analysis or baud plot. It is capable of utilizing the 100 megs arbitrary waveform generator in the instrument, but if you would like to use the generator for other purposes, that's a license key that you need to purchase. Fault Hunter, as described, that's available as standard. So is zone trigger, segmented memory, all the MSO license. That means the 16 logic channels. Mask testing, histograms, FFT, a lot of measurements. They all come as standard features. Initially, there's 20 megapoints of channel memory, up to 100 meg. That is also a license key upgrade. I think it was 20, 50, and 100. Until end of 2024, there's a campaign that when purchasing the oscilloscope, you get the full 100 megapoints of memory free of charge. there's protocol triggering, decode and triggering applications available. Oh yes, one more thing on the logic channels. So that feature comes standard with every oscilloscope. The cables are not included as standard. If you have the previous generation cable available, feel free to use that one. We're obviously happy to sell you a new one, or if your application includes that you'll use some custom cables, fine, by all means do that. It's fairly simple. So it's a brand new instrument, much more features coming down the road. Thank you.
So are there any questions? Anyone? I have a few. Whenever the market is down, as we are at the moment, there are some indications, and one of them is that companies start to invest in test and measurement devices again. Do you see any signs of anything better in the Finnish market? Is there some activity? And how do you see that the HD3 will play into that game?
Let's say after summer holidays, there's been some improvement. There's more activity, so at least a slight improvement is visible. However, we also need to remember that we are closing to the year end, so part of it is for sure year-end money, that people realize that, oh no, I was supposed to use this for something.
Anyone else? One question about the HD3. If you look at oscilloscopes at the moment, they all have like custom-based ASICs, more and more memory, even in the middle price point, and all of them have good graphical interfaces. So how do you sell? What are the key points that you sell to your, let's say, new customers, not the existing ones?
That's a good question, actually. Yes, people people see a lot of advertisements from different companies. Everybody is advertising their banner specifications, and that we have the highest this, highest that. Personally, I've been doing this now almost 30 years, and I'd like to focus on the customer, their application. Even though I'm partially representing Keysight here today, well, Testhouse Nordic has a wide selection of different brands, and many times when we look deeper into the customer need, what do they actually want to do, we will end up with let's say, for the sake of argument, if I would have 3 competing models, 3 competing manufacturers, we'll look at their portfolio. There are always differences to it. It's easy to start with highest this and best performance, but the Keysight previous oscilloscope family, first models introduced in 2011, it is still selling quite well. And it's an 8-bit one, and compared to this one, you could think that nobody wants it anymore. Well, remains to be seen. They are not being discontinued, at least not yet. But the simple answer, I guess, is in the customer application, in the need. There are differences to these products.
All right. Thank you, Petri.
Thank you.